Hello everybody and welcome to my Afterthoughts video regarding the movie Crocodile Dundee. It's a busy time right now, as you guys maybe know. We're having the film festival going on right now, so I'm actually recording this in the morning. Usually I do that in the afternoon, but I try to squeeze it in because at 11 o'clock we already have a filmmakers brunch we go to, and then I have screenings, and then I come back and I do editing all day and all night, and then I sleep a few hours, and then there's other stuff we have to do in Hollywood. It's really going back and forth, so I'm trying to squeeze in this video right now. And this time, like I said, regarding the movie Crocodile Dundee, and that was a very entertaining movie, I have to say, a very fun movie and a very light-hearted comedy, even good for the entire family because there wasn't any bathroom humor or too much foul language. It was very clean and very entertaining. I have to say, sometimes it was hard for me to understand the Australian accent. It was very difficult, and even during editing sometimes I listened to something he said like 3, 4, 5 times and I still couldn't understand it, so you had to find a manuscript or the screenplay and read it, and then finally I knew what he was saying, and I probably missed a few jokes because of that. But I had to laugh during editing when I finally figured out what he said, so that was fun. I guess I don't have to say much about the story because it was very straightforward. Boy meets girl, or maybe I should say boy meets Sheila, and then boy loses Sheila, and at the end the boy gets together with the Sheila. So a very common structure that we're all familiar with and love. I would say the movie's success is probably because of, the whole concept, the fish out of water concept, which everybody loves. And like Jessica mentioned, of course, the culture clash. It's always interesting to see a person being dropped into a different culture and see how they react and how they behave to certain things. So that was very fun. And then, of course, also the endearing and likable quality of the main character, Crocodile Dundee. He was a very fun character. He was always himself, and he had a good sense of humor. And he was a real, like a manly man, rugged quality with survival skills. So that was very, very nice to see. And I noticed he always made an attempt to remember everybody's names. And that was great because that's what we all should do and try harder. I mean, I'm not good at that at all, I have to say. When it comes to remembering name, I'm so bad at it. I introduce myself, 2 seconds later, I already forgot the name. Now, Jessica, on the other hand, she is phenomenal when it comes to that. I mean, she can talk and network with people, with 5, 6 people, in one group. And at the end, she remembers everybody's names. She even remembers their spouses' names. And if they have kids, she remembers that too. It's really amazing. She is a professional when it comes to networking and remembering somebody's name. And I'm not good at that at all. I remember faces, I'm better at that. But I really have to work on remembering people's name. And Crocodile Dundee, he remembers everybody from the maid at the hotel all the way to the prostitute on the street, So a very good quality. The funniest scene of the movie, I would say, was when Crocodile had to check if he's talking to a Sheila or if he's talking to a guy dressed as a Sheila. Though that was very funny, especially the second time when he did it at this party and he was introduced to that individual and he wasn't quite sure, so he checked and it was actually a woman. And the woman, of course, she was very shocked at the first moment and then kind of like said, maybe I should go to Australia. So she kind of liked it, I guess, but very politically incorrect, but it was funny. I mean, that was probably the funniest scene of the whole movie. I had to laugh so hard. And then also the moment when, the thing where that's not a knife, that's a knife. Now, I have seen that or heard that before. I was familiar with that phrase. I never really knew what it meant. Maybe have even seen the clip, but I've never seen in the entire context of the movie we saw, you know. So that was great to finally see where this "that's a knife" came from. So that was a very fun moment too. And then of course the most endearing scene was of course the ending of the movie, when Crocodile Dundee walks over the heads of the people towards Sue, and then they finally embrace and love each other. So that was of course a real epic movie scene, very well done, very you know, emotional and uplifting moment, you know. So that was great. And then boom, they stopped it, and I think that was a good decision, because this was the height of the movie. And because it easily could have gone further, you know, the next scene, they're now at the hotel packing, talking about him going back to Australia, blah, blah, blah. It's all not necessary, because it's always good to let audience want more. And that's exactly how we felt. We wanted more. So I think that was a very smart decision to cut it off there and leave the audience with wanting more. So that was great. And then I did a little bit research about for example, the kangaroos, because Jessica asked me during the movie, is that as fast as they can hop? And I said, oh no, they can hop much faster. So I wanted to make sure, and I researched a little, and it said that kangaroos can reach a top speed of 44 miles an hour. Well, that's incredible. I mean, that's like 70 kilometers an hour. That's fast, man. I knew they were fast, but that fast? I was impressed, I have to say. If I'm not mistaken, this Usain Bolt track and field runner, he is pretty much the fastest human being, and I think he clocks in around, you know, his top speed a little under 30 miles an hour. I think 28 or something like that. So compare that to a kangaroo who hops, well, almost twice as fast. That's incredible. And it also said that with one single hop, they can go like 10 meters. You know, that's longer than the world record in long jump at the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. So kangaroos, I guess, very impressive animals. So that was interesting to learn. And then I had to look up the origin of the boomerang, because I know that the boomerang kind of stands as a symbol for Australia and Australian Aborigines, and that is absolutely true. They found boomerangs that were like 10,000 years old, and I researched some more, but the real origins of boomerangs is a little bit unclear. One is not sure, because they have found those boomerangs all over the world, in Europe and North America and Egypt and India and everywhere. And I think in Poland they actually found one that was estimated to be around 30,000 years old. So boomerangs are all over the place, but they are a symbol of Australia and the Aborigines. So that was interesting to learn. And one more thing I looked up, that animal that Crocodile Dundee kind of hypnotized like this was a water buffalo. I wasn't 100% sure what that animal was. That's why I didn't say anything, but it was a water buffalo. So I think that pretty much sums up that movie. We loved it, and thank you so much for recommending that movie. And now I still have enough time to go home and get ready for our filmmakers brunch in Hollywood, and then we go from there. So thank you so much, and I see you at the next one. Okay, bye-bye.